Hello and welcome! This is Melskinner, and we're back with some more Wargame Red Dragon, and it's time for me to end my turn and let my opponent take its turn. Okay, so they're sending some air coverage in there. Going to have a fight down in the south. Alright, let's see what they have involved. So they did send their air attack convoy after me. What else do they have after me? An infantry regiment. So they sent quite a lot down here. Alright, so let's see what kind of capabilities they have. So they have the strike squadron here, which is going to consist of the F5s with the napalm bombs. Now, in this case, I do not have any air coverage here. That's probably why they decided to attack here. As a matter of fact, I don't think I have that much to actually defend myself against the air, except for our Stinger infantry here. So yet again, the F5s are going to be able to run rampant, but unfortunately, I just don't have enough air coverage that I can actually cover all three of the zones that they could attack me in, so there's not a whole lot we could do about that. They also have helicopters that are going to be able to attack me pretty much at will. They have anti-air vehicles, which don't necessarily matter to me. I don't really have any air power in the region. So mostly that's going to attack us on the ground. They do have artillery support. Now, the important thing is they don't have that many command vehicles because of the casualties they've taken. As a matter of fact, they really don't have that much in the way of infantry or a means to directly attack me. They really just have these helicopters and planes to come after me and do the most damage. So if we can thwart that, that will be in my favor. Unfortunately, I don't have a whole lot of means to attack that air power, so we're just going to have to do our best. So let's go ahead and launch the battle. Now, as far as things go, they have the cohesion advantage over me, but I have a big morale advantage. So I only need 526 points to be able to defeat them, so it may be fairly easy. Now, as far as the map goes, we have control of 3 of the zones, and they have control of 2, and I'm going to assume this is partly due to the number of directions they attacked me from. So they have 2 directions, so they actually have 2 deployment points. So let's go ahead and launch this up and see what we can do. So that Stinger infantry that we have is going to be very important. I'm going to probably want to spread it out a little bit rather than clump it all together like I've done in the past. So I might do 2 in one place, 2 in another. We're going to want to hold down Busan and the Delta region, as that's going to be the only way we're going to get more deployment points, as we have 0 cohesion, so we are not going to get any more points beyond that. Our opponent is going to have a little bit of an advantage over us. If they can hold down this zone, then we're going to be equal in deployment points, and they will start with a little bit of an advantage as far as points out the gate. I'm going to get rid of the forward operating base. I don't feel like we need that necessarily. We are going to want at least 1 command vehicle over here. Let's take a look at our logistics vehicles. So we have the more expensive command vehicle here, and then we have a little bit of a cheaper one. I personally... That one's already in use, though, so this is the only other option we have. So if we want to hold this guy down, we're going to have to employ this tank unit. Now, it does have armor, and that armor won't necessarily die, I don't think, to the napalm bombs that they can throw at me. The helicopters, I didn't recall. I know one had rockets, and I think one had grenade launchers, so those really won't be a threat to me as far as defeating my armor as well. I think the way that we get through this fight is just using armor, as I think the infantry does have anti-tank weapons, but we may be able to overwhelm them. Especially, I didn't take a look at the infantry's anti-tank weapons. Probably should have done that to see how capable they are. But we may be able to overwhelm them just by using those K1 tanks again. So I'm going to go ahead and grab this command vehicle. I'll put it over in this corner, as I think that's the least likely area that we're going to get attacked here. More than likely, we're going to want to defend this urban area here, or we could just defend more close in, defend over here. Not sure yet. We'll have to see what we can afford. Now, I do know that my tanks, those K1s, are fairly expensive. They're 90 apiece. If these are going to fall really easily to anti-tank weapons, that would be somewhat of a liability. But if we do mass an engagement early on, we may be able to knock out all of their anti-tank capability, and at that point, we could pretty much dominate the battlefield at will, and they only have a limited number of command vehicles, so if we can knock those out, the battle will end very quickly. So I think that's the strategy I'm going to go with. So I'm going to do a platoon of K1s here, and we're going to do another platoon of K1s. Should we mass them the same area? Well, I think capturing this area is going to be the most important, because it's going to be how they get deployment points. But we also may have to ward off an attack from this direction. I'm only going to have 50 points after this. So this is a very good all or nothing strategy. As a matter of fact, I think I may have to back off on that. We could use cheaper tanks. I do have other alternatives. I have the M48 tanks that we could use. We have a couple different variants of that tank. Now, these guys' armor is a lot weaker, so those anti-tank weapons that they do have will possibly be able to do damage. And we don't have a ton of these guys, so I'm not sure what we're going to do with that. As I said, I would like to get some anti-air here. So I'm going to do 1, 2. I'm going to put them in this building here. Be able to put them in there eventually. And I think we're just going to fall back and try and defend over here. So I'm going to grab another 1, 2. We're going to put them here. Another thing, I'm going to grab some infantry here, some standard infantry. So we've got anti-tank. I think that's probably not going to be what we want. We know what our enemy is going to be, and honestly, I think our infantry is going to be the best tool to use against them. So let's go ahead and put our infantry in one of these urban areas here. Probably here, we'd be able to hit both roads, perhaps. So that's going to be a good spot. And then over here, I'd like to have just a little bit of infantry to help out my infantry over here, my anti-air unit, perhaps. Come on, behave. Okay. Maybe we put the infantry there because it's going to be a little bit closer to the road. So we'll grab another platoon's worth. Stick them there. Okay, so we have 210 points left over. So our main attack thrust is going to be from the K1s. I would like to get a little bit more of an attack going. Our command vehicle is going to be vulnerable if I don't defend in this area, so that might be valuable. We also may want a forward operating base, perhaps. Now, if I were to put anything in this area, I'd actually probably go for tanks here. As I said, we may be vulnerable to... Let's go with the cheapo tanks, because that's gonna be what we're gonna be able to afford more easily. So let's grab these guys, and we'll stick them in the woods here. If anything comes along this road, we can use these M48s to go after them. We can get a recon vehicle to help us as well. I think that would probably be a good idea. Anything that can attack helicopters and things like that may actually be very useful to me. So, for example, the 20mm cannon that we have here can do that at decent range. So, let's go ahead and get a recon vehicle in here. And do we want to have anything as far as recon to go along with K1s? I'm a little bit worried that they would be vulnerable to any attacks. So I think we're going to be okay for now with what I've got here. We could have gone with the anti-tank vehicles here. And to be totally honest with you, that might not actually be a bad idea. It has the same cannon that's in these M48s. Let's actually back that up a little bit. So the M48s have 1925 range, so it sounds the same. 45% accuracy. AP power is 9. That's not going to matter. The enemy doesn't have... No, they do have tanks, don't they? Forgot about that. Alright, well, let's take a look at these guys, though. So AP power is only 8. I think that might still be enough to get through the T-55's armor. But I think the important distinction here is the accuracy, 45%. What's the rate of fire? 8 a minute? Versus 8 a minute. So there's no real advantage. We could do the tow anti-tank vehicles, but I think they'd be a little too vulnerable to the napalm. So I think this is what we're going to do. I'll leave myself open a few points so that maybe we can get another platoon of K1 tanks in the future. I really don't have anything else I think we need to do. Unless we just want to reinforce our push here with some more. As I said, we could do a recon vehicle to help us with sightlines and things. But I am a little bit afraid how vulnerable it would be. But you know what? Let's go ahead. I think this is going to be an all-or-nothing fight. And yeah, it would help, I think, to have these guys available. Especially if they are going to be knocking out some anti-air type stuff. Now, this is a deployment zone that I am not going to even try and defend. We have one here, and I think that's going to be enough for us. So let's go ahead and launch this battle up and slow this sucker down. So I'm going to start getting my tank in here. And as a matter of fact, we have targets right away. So those are probably the helicopters. We're going to keep the recon vehicle back. Okay, let's bullet time this sucker so I can see what we've got going on over here. Okay, so it looks like the enemy presence that we've got is all over here. The recon vehicle, I think, is all right. Mostly, I think the helicopters here that are attacking me, they're just suppressing me, really. We do have the M2 Browning, which should be able to give us some anti-air capability. But for now, I'm just going to keep them back. These guys will run out of ammo eventually. Oh, we need to unload this guy. And we also need to unload some other vehicles. Let's go ahead and go to very slow, so that we know that these unloads are happening. Okay, gonna go back to bullet time. I'm gonna go ahead and grab these guys. They have M2 Browning machine guns. This will actually help me quite a bit with getting anti-air. As a matter of fact, our recon vehicle is helping us there. Let's go ahead and unload this guy. And I'm going to put these in the dense forest here. You're going to go forward a little bit, and once we get you unloaded, that'll be fine. Okay. So, unfortunately, we have been stunned, but I think at this point, the helicopters are indeed running out of ammo. Now, I'm a little bit concerned for our recon vehicle here, so I'm going to go ahead and start backing it up. See if we can get a little bit out there. Now, I know it's laying down fire on these helicopters, which is helping, sure, but I'm just a little bit concerned. So I'm going to bring the K1s up a little bit, though. As we've already seen, it doesn't appear that they're really doing much damage to me. They're really just stunning and panicking me, so, you know, that's fine. I prefer that they weren't, but we can deal with that. Let's go to very slow. Let's see if we can get some things going on here. Really what I'm just looking for is that my K1s are going to be able to open up with their machine guns on the... There we go. Let's get this guy taken care of. Okay. Looks like we have... Let's go ahead and go back to bullet time. So I'm going to go ahead and put these vehicles in the dense forest right here. All right, so this helicopter's trying to flank me, but again, we've got the 50 caliber machine guns, and we can just open up on these guys at some point. All right, we do have 50 points. Let's go back to very slow. I want to have quite a bit of reaction time here to deal with things. Still a lot of helicopters in the area. Let's go ahead and attack here. Okay, managed to knock out one of their helicopters with our recon vehicle. As a matter of fact, I'm actually thinking about getting another one of these guys. So let's go ahead and put him in... the forest here. Okay, we've got bombs coming in on us. These are the napalms. I don't think napalm bombs... Oh, okay, unfortunately we lost our recon vehicle. I don't think napalm bombs can hurt us in tanks, but I'm not positive on that, so I'm not going to test it by sticking in there. I'm going to try and get out of the flames. Okay. I'm going to keep moving here, but I do want them to fire upon these anti-tank. Okay, we do have some anti-tank weapons coming after me. Okay, so we're just going to keep firing on these guys. Matter of fact, I'm half tempted to get my M48s in here. So our 50 caliber machine guns are continuing to open up on these guys. Okay, we're out of the flames. Just want to knock out these infantry before they get too close to me. Come on, get them. You're getting awfully close. There we go. Knocked him out. Okay. Move up here and knock out this guy. I mean, more helicopters are attacking us, sure, but again, they're not able to actually inflict lasting damage on us, so... Let's just move up. We'll take their rocket strikes on us. We've already knocked out some of their helicopters. They don't have a lot left. Okay, we are taking a little bit of damage there, but if we can knock out a few more of these guys, we'll actually win the battle. So, I am tempted to bring up my M48s at this point, but let's be calm. Okay, that's a helicopter. I'm still going to go after it. Let's slow this, let's speed it up a little bit. Now, we really don't want to take any casualties on our... tanks if we can avoid it, but... Here comes some more rockets, so they are really going after me with these helicopters. Okay, we know they have some kind of command vehicle in the area. Alright, let's just, you know, to be honest with you, let's just go after these helicopters here. All they've got are these cannons left. I think we might be able to do enough damage here to start knocking them out. These are probably fairly expensive units here. And we have a lot of the 50 caliber machine guns, so hopefully we can knock these guys out. Yeah, all I see is these helicopters. I'm being cautious because I don't want to, but I think at this point, we're going to go ahead and call in 2 more K1 tanks. And we're going to have them come down this road, and we're going to have them attack to see if we can take out any of their command vehicles. We're taking out the helicopters. Fortunately, I don't think these helicopters are worth that many points. It's good to take them out. Mostly because I you know, don't want them to be able to continue to fire upon my more vulnerable units. As we may have happen over here in a second. Alright. Yeah. Go ahead and open up on this guy. Or this guy, actually. Have our recon vehicle take him out. They're gonna try and play with me. I'll play back. Got artillery coming in. Oh, okay. We got enough points anyway, so... That was a nice quick one. We didn't lose any points, I don't think. Well, let's see. Actually, no, we did lose 45 points. That's right, because we lost a recon vehicle. But we did manage to inflict the required points. We needed 526. We inflicted 550. We did kill their infantry regiment. There wasn't much to that infantry regiment, so it didn't take many casualties on our end to defeat them. And I think that's about it. So... Alright, well that went our way, so let's go ahead and progress here. I don't know if we have any more fights going on. No, that looks like the only fight that they attempted here. So they did, I think, withdraw forces from over here, perhaps. No, this looks about what was over here before. So we do have this strike squadron that has been added into the fight, so we're going to have to keep an eye on them. But I think that's going to... conclude this video. So we have some areas that we can engage here. I'm actually somewhat surprised that they didn't attack me here, but I think I know why at this point. Because they had no air power, and I would have had air power in the region. Having the F-16s in there, we would have been able to inflict extreme casualties to their helicopter-based force, and we could still do that next turn. All they have here is an artillery company. I don't even know how that is something that they decided to do, as all I'd have to do, I think, is engage here, and we'd kill them. But in any case, we'll hold that for the next video. I hope you guys have enjoyed. This is Mouse Gunner, signing out.